Lost in all the revelations that Russell Wilson does kind of sort of maybe would be okay with socially distancing from the Seattle Seahawks and waive his no trade clause is where he would want to go. So the Dallas Cowboys makes sense. You got Zeke, CeeDee, Amari. The Raiders, Josh Jacobs, Waller, Ruggs, Gruden. They almost made the playoffs last year, sure. The Saints, stupid ass Sean Payton, Kamara, Captain Slants, although they might have to cut Michael Thomas just to get underneath the salary cap to be able to afford Russ, but it's not started there. The Jets, of course, this guy Robert Saleh, former Seahawks assistant before he went to the Niners. He's in charge there. Plus, they got some weapons. Denzel Mims is solid. Maybe they'll hang on to Crowder. And also Mekhi Becton's going to be watching his ass. Plus, they have significant draft assets, so it wouldn't necessarily hurt the team as much as it would other teams giving up all that capital because they have the Seahawks first-round picks from the Jamal Adams trade. And, of course, the Dolphins, who have a ton of draft capital from the Texans trade for Tunsil. Flores is a true leader of men. They got some nice weapons, and the offensive line is starting to come around with Miami, and they were a borderline playoff team last year. So all those make sense. But the Bears, Bears made the list as sort of like, oh, yeah, here you go. Is this an Ashton Kutcher thing? Because I'm pretty sure that he is a Bears fan. And is he going to pop out of the closet and say, oh, punked? Like, is that what's going to happen? Nah. But I understand that the Bears made the playoff team last year. But you cannot convince anyone who does not bleed dark bluish and orangish that the Bears are a good team. They are not. So that one got me. Like, why TF would Russell Wilson want to go to Chicago? Like, if you wanted to go to a team with a good defense, shoddy offensive play calling, horrible offensive line, and no first-round picks, he could just stay in Seattle. So what is the deal with this? It really does make zero sense. Unless Russ is playing some sort of 4D underwater chess and trying to get a bunch of teams interested, but then ultimately not waive his no trade clause for certain teams, including the Bears, to keep the trade compensation down. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. But Russ has no ties to Chicago. He's from Virginia. He played at NC State. He was a Badger. Like, he should hate Chicago. But and then, of course, in Seattle. So it doesn't make any sense there. His wife, Sierra, is not from Chicago, unless, I don't know, does she have business interests in Chi-Town? Like, what's going on there? But Chicago, GM Ryan Pace and head coach Matt Nagy, fake-ass Brad Childress, are on the thinnest of ice. And the new GM, the new head coach, is not going to be beholden to Russ, although it would be stupid to turn their backs on an established franchise quarterback, but you never know. And the Bears arguably have a worse offensive line than the Seahawks because at least they have Dwayne Brown. And that was the thing that irritated him most in Seattle when he was consistently among the most pressured quarterbacks in the league. And they're probably going to lose Allen Robinson, so your only good wide receiver walks out. Well, yeah, Mooney's good, but Allen Robinson walks out the door because they're probably going to have to let him go so that they can afford to take on Russ's contract since they're currently underneath the projected salary cap, over the salary cap, and giving up 3 first-round picks minimum to get his ass. So the prospects of surrounding Russ with talent is decreased by that much. And I mean, does Russ have a deep dish fetish, or does he have Portillo stock? Is that what's happening here? I get that Russ is charitable, but bro, I don't think you'll be able to write this one off. Just going to quarterback a listless and completely useless franchise. And he's 32. Like, he wants to win another ring, cement his legacy, but the Bears ain't it. And again, it might just be that he listed off a bunch of teams and the Bears are 6 out of 6 on his wish list. That certainly could be it. Mainly, I don't want this to happen because if the Bears do end up with Russ, I mean, the Vikings will never win at Soldier Field ever because Russ is a damn magician against the purple. And of course, the Vikings never win at Soldier Field, even though they did on Monday night last year. But for that, I digress. But your thoughts? Why? Well, why does Russ want to go Chicago? Like, is he a big fan of Second City? I don't know. Anyways, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull something in Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.